expression like shop equals to shop plus order.
Right.
So instead of writing this, we can write shop plus order only.
But why? I mean, yeah. So my question is, this shopping basket, huh, is equal to shopping basket plus order. What is the problem with this? I mean, what problem you are facing with that?
So like sometimes working, but for when I'm adding multiple orders, if I'm doing shop plus order simply, then it's working. But if I'm equating it, then it's a little bit creating a loop. In fact,
No. So let us look at it, right? So you are so basically. So first of all, plus operator on the shopping basket. Hmm. It should basically be something like a plus plus. Okay.
yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's I am saying. What
It
like
should have.
just add it.
But you can so we have already shown how to so you manipulate so shop is equal to shop plus this thing. Okay. um, what you basically create object. Okay, so I'm just trying to understand what loop it is creating in your case. So if you just create yeah, so if you just overload the plus operator such that this new order item is added to the existing one and the existing one is returned. What is the loop that is getting created? I'm not understanding.
No, sir. Like it was giving some problem with that. Like when I was equating, I am outputting it into the string stream and then inputting from there. So that was the problem. I guess I can do it without also that. So okay, I will do it without that.
Oh, yeah. So see, these are two different things. Right? One is the stream operator overloading. Stream operator overloading is very simple actually. Stream operator overloading says you are taking input. That is so these are more basic operator. Plus equal to minus, these are more basic operator. Huh. Inside that greater than or less than, you can utilize these operators, right? Am
Yeah.
I making sense? Yeah. So
Yes.
so this part, at least this operator overloading part, there should not be any concern. Yeah, so that part is fine. Okay, let me. I can share my screen also. Any other questions, sir?
Sir, is it necessary to like submit the handwritten notes only?
Yeah, so that, see, everybody is asking, right? It is for your own good only. What is so? It is, and it is the policy. Like it is. It is not my alone. Na? So we have all taken together. We have decided the policy that so this is so that people who are doing the work, they get rewarded, and it is not like somebody just copy paste and submits.
Okay. So, sir, like if we have written like 150 lines, so we have to like write all of them as it is, or only the functions which are we are required to write.
I mean, after that you can just only the functions. Oh, no, only the functions. Yeah. So that's what I said, right? That you just provide the implementations and that definition. That's all.
Okay, sir.
So, Professor, we're actually supposed to submit like a handwritten work because last time I think we submitted like a PDF.
Yeah, you can submit PDF, but it should be scanned PDF. I mean, you have to submit PDF, like handwritten scanned PDF.
So, but last time like we were allowed to type documents. Is that not continuing?
Actually, even last time the instruction was that you should have submitted handwritten. So later, yeah, so I think for one student or something, he was saying that he is suffering from corona or something, and then so I allowed it. But in general, the instruction was that.
So, but Professor, I think we asked you like in a meeting or like in the chat place or something, and you said
Yeah,
like we were allowed to
that was
use.
the confusion. I think that was some confusion, but this time I don't want that confusion because this time, yeah, you have to submit handwritten. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so like, can't it be typed for everyone because we have to write codes, right? So like
Yes,
the
sir.
Understand that
indentation
part.
would get messed up. Indentation and all would get messed up when we handwrite things. Like especially they are important when we are like writing in an object-oriented manner. So like it would be
But
like
Pranav,
if
okay, like given that's okay, but Pranav, I think the strongest argument is like it's sort of like pointless to write down all that code. So like when most
yes,
of us
sir.
have already
Yes,
finished
sir.
like programs, like it seems like we have exams and all of that. It seems like pointless to like rewrite everything on paper.
No, see, this is what I'm just saying. I understand. Okay, so why did we do this, right? So why did we give this? The reason is basically just one. So I'm not saying that you should, So two things is one is so the basic reason is that if there will be some students who will simply take it from their friends and submit it, and because this is a like a, so there's no way, because everybody's code will be the same, so we cannot say that this person is not copying and this person is copying.
So,
Sir,
but in
but
the
they can
handwritten case,
copy the
anyway, they
handwritten
can
also.
copyright. So, like
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
Yes,
like even if it's handwritten, they can still get it from their friends and just write it down.
and some moreover like
No,
in
that
that
they can
case,
do, but still, in the process, they will be at least understanding the code and learning. But there has been like yeah. So this is for a reason, actually. This is not random. I mean, yeah, from your point of view, I understand, but we don't live in a perfect world. That is the problem, actually.
Okay, sir.
So keep the writing to the minimum, and yeah, so you can just write those, just the function body, and you can write in a concise manner. People will do it.
Also, so for the first assignment, where can we like are our marks released?
Yeah, so marks should be there on Moodle
Yes,
itself.
sir. They are visible.
Yeah.
Sir, could you please repeat the instructions for the less than, greater than operator? Like for less than, are we supposed to create a new customer object every time? Like, are we supposed to initialize a new object?
No. So for
Like for order.
yeah, for greater than, like greater than is for input, right? So for greater than, yeah, so you don't have to allocate the high level object, right? The highest level object, because yeah, that is allocated and that is getting called. I mean, when you are doing scene greater than, let's say a shopping basket. So the shopping basket level object already exists. Okay, but two things can happen. So in general, this shopping basket will have some existing shopping basket object, right? So you want to override that whole thing. Okay, so for all the component objects, so what you should do is you should deallocate them. Okay, and then you should create the new object that is, that will take its place, and then call the input operator for that particular constituent object.
Sir, if we deallocate it, then it will also be erased from the main.
Yeah, so that is this thing. So that is why what I see in the chat, what I wrote is, whenever, let's say you are adding a product item to a order, okay, you create a copy of the product item and add it to the order.
Dynamically.
Dynamically, yes.
Okay, sir. Yes.
So there is a list of product items. Okay. And then basically, so there is another reason also, because see, when a product item goes into the order, it has this number of copies field, which is also populated. But when you are just simply creating a product item, it is number of copies is always 1.
Yes, sir.
So that is the other thing. And then similarly, yes, yeah.
Sir, then should we
Also, like where
means should we deallocate it, sir? Means
yeah. So when you are doing, so when you are deleting, let's say when you are deleting, so when you are, let's say, writing the destructor for the this thing, for the so everything should be deep. Basically, your copy operator should be doing deep copy. Your destructor should be doing a delete. I mean deep deletion. So all the constituent objects should be deleted, and then the current object should be deleted. And yeah, so your scene and everything also should be working in a deep manner. Scene, mostly scene. I think scene is the main thing. Cout is nothing. Cout is just printing, so it doesn't mean.
also, is it compulsory to write these write all the products and orders with having the sequential IDs? Because like when we are creating a copy object or somewhat, then it is making some distance between the first product and the second product.
Come again?
Sir, actually what happens is that if we create a new product item, sir, so every time we create a new product item, the static int num product item would increase by 1, right? Whenever we create a new product item.
Yes, yes.
But but this time we are creating a copy of an already existing product item. But even though we are creating a copy, we would be calling that constructor, and that num product item would increase by 1.
Right. So
yes, Professor, because like we're creating a lot of copies, you're saying we have to again dynamically allocate, and like for example, in the like arrow double angular brackets overloaded function, when you're saying we have to reconstruct the object, it means that like we have to pass pointers dynamically, right? So we have to reallocate new objects and then pass them to the constructors, which means that like there'll be a lot of copies of the same objects everywhere.
Yes,
I understand. So no, lot of copies is fine, but what you are saying is that the ID of the product item should this static thing will yeah. So that is a good point that so in the constructor, if you are creating a new product item and yeah, so num product item thing will be much higher.
So like we can do one thing is that can we decrease it by 1 every time we create a copy, something like that. Like creating a copy would increase it by 1, but then in next time we would.
No, the question is how would you know if it's a copy or a genuine product, right? How would you differentiate?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and also if it's in an order and we do that, but then again in the class order, the num product item is private. We cannot access that directly.
Yeah, so we can write an extra function for it or something.
Yeah, you have to write an extra function for it. So inside, when you are creating it from inside, like so when you are creating a new product, so in the constructor it would always increase, okay? But when you are like creating it, creating only a copy for inserting it into an order, then you have to manually decrease it.
Sir, but what is the issue if the IDs are not sequential? They are they need to be unique.
There's no
Not
issue.
sequential.
Yes, they,
Only thing
yes,
is
they're
that
unique
there
anyway.
are going to be many gaps. That's all. There's no issue as such, but there are going to be many gaps in product ID. Yeah. So, I mean, the naive solution will work, but like one of your friends just pointed out that, there will be many IDs which will not be given to product items, new product items. No, there is another issue that, conceptually, the ID of a product item should be unique. So what happens is when you create this new product item again, it will get a new ID, but the product
Exactly,
item.
Professor. That's the problem. For example, in places where we create a copy of the same product, for example, maybe in one of the overloaded operators or some place, the problem is when we call the constructor, it will increase the count and it will also increase the ID, even though both are the same product.
Yeah, even though both are the same product, so that defeats the purpose of the ID. So I think it's best if we if you delete. If if you if you are creating only a copy.
While copying it, we can just put the previous the copy means the main product's ID to the copied object ID.
No, sir, I think that object
so
ID logically should be const. So once it's fixed in the constructor, it should not be allowed to change.
Yes, logically it should be const.
Yes, sir. And if it is const, then this problem will arise. That will be increased every time.
No, but it will be increased only if you allow the count to increase further, right?
Sir, actually we have to allow it because we don't know whether or not the same product that was created last is being copied. Like some previously made product might be getting copied.
Which means we need to change the signatures of a lot of functions and like
Yes,
have like a
and
Boolean
it's
flag.
the same constructor, right? And it's the same constructor, right? It doesn't know if it's an original or it's a copy.
Exactly.
The constructor
So
doesn't
we need
know.
to have like a Boolean flag which says whether the
Exactly. You have to have two constructors. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You need to have a overloaded constructor. Basically, that's what you need to have for product item. For customer, you can also keep a reference. So for example, in this order, I have said that you keep a customer, but you can also keep a reference. In that case, you never free the customer.
Exactly, Professor. That's a good idea. So what about the operators? Like the textual part had a different, had a contradictory set of statements with respect to the code.
Yeah, so about the operator, yeah, so read it as implement all the member and the friend functions. That what you are saying?
No, sir. The one above, it says plus and minus should be overloaded and plus and asterisk should be overloaded. But the code says plus and assignment and plus and assignment, if I'm not asterisk and assignment.
Yeah. So this should be assignment and asterisk for product item. And basically, equal to plus, for shopping basket equal to plus and minus, and for orders it should be equal to an assignment. So so this I will just change. Yeah, whatever is there here is the correct one in the code. Whatever is there, that is
also. So in the vector, that you have vector product items of this here. Can we hold references to product items? Is that possible?
If you do that, then you cannot make copies.
Okay.
Right, because your number of copies is here. So then if you change one copy, it will change the copy of the other orders also.
So we'll also have to implement a copy constructor, right? For that previous problem that we were facing. Like in the copy constructor, we won't increment the number of objects. We will just copy whatever ID comes from the other one. Like, does that make sense?
Yes, sir. That's what I wanted to do, but that was not in the class, so I couldn't do it.
No, so
and sir, in the source code, we can control that every time we make a copy, we will use a copy constructor, and for a new object, we will use the other constructor.
So, but there's still the problem that like there are two different objects having the same ID.
But they're essentially the same object, right? We are just.
For example, this for product item, even though the like we can have, for example, if we have a product item that says 1 apple and another product item that says 2 apples, if we use the copy constructor idea, they'll have only they'll have the same ID, but they're essentially two different product items.
Yeah, but they are not, right? So so ID is the ID of the product, and both are apples, let's say. So yeah, so I think that is fine. So 2 apples, in 2 different orders, having the same product ID is fine, I guess. So yeah, so maybe copy constructor is a good idea. Yeah. So yeah, having a separate copy constructor and using that.
And so then that would eliminate the need for this assignment operator in the first place. Like you're asking us to delete all the objects and then instantiate all the member objects again in the assignment operator. Instead of doing that, we can just do away with the assignment operator and have the copy constructor.
No, but copy constructor is not a replacement for assignment operator, no? Why?
So, the assignment operator, for example, in certain places where you're saying we have to have this double angular brackets. So this double angular brackets, what it's basically doing is it's taking an order and it's like basically it's performing the same operations whatever as the assignment operator we are doing. Like it's destroying this.
But this is overwriting the object. See, you think about it like this, right? So it's, about integer or complex number or something like that, right? So when you say a is equal to a plus b or a is equal to b plus c, something like this, equal to is overwriting a, okay? Sorry, not so that is not this thing. So here in this particular case, it is actually plus type. You see, shop is equal to shop plus a reference is what we are trying to do here.
So, but then there's an issue now. So if you said you asked us to make the customer into a reference, right? Because you wanted to, I'm not sure in what context you said that you wanted to make the customer into a reference. Now, if we use the double angular bracket into the object, the problem is you can't change the reference once it has been attached to a certain object.
No, you can. Why can't you?
So references once attached to a certain alias cannot be changed in C++. You can't say reference equal to something else now. You have to modify in the underlying object then. For example, if I make customer ampersand C in the screen that you're showing, now if I can't say C equal to something, I can't attach C to some another object. It's attached to whatever.
You can. So if you say int ampersand A is equal to B, let's say, okay?
Yes.
Later you can say A is equal to C.
So that will change the variable B, sir.
No. It changes only the reference.
So then let's say you wanted to increase, so references is basically an alias for the old variable. So if int ampersand A is an alias for B, and you're saying A is equal to 2, for example, then automatically B will also be 2.
Yes, that means even in the in stream operator, we'll have to use a copy constructor instead of the copy assignment.
Yeah, so then this customer reference cannot come. Yes, you are right. Yeah, so basically that will mess with things. Yes. So keep the customer as it is. Okay.
So I think it's better to use pointers everywhere because pointers you can easily reinitialize, like reassign them to different objects and like use them easily. Like that's, in my opinion, it's a better choice.
Possibly, but yeah, okay. So that is this thing. But in terms of I think the purpose here is to have a kind of natural looking semantics, like so, yeah. So Yeah, but then for this one, shop is equal to, yeah, so this goes through, right? So shop is equal to shop plus ORF, this goes through. Yeah. So then it's better to have like, so have this shop is equal to shop plus ORF logic, okay? And you only have an overloaded constructor, not a copy constructor. If you have a copy constructor, I mean a different copy constructor, I'm just thinking what should you so then basically everything gets copied, right? That is not a good idea, but you can have a copy constructor for customer and product item. These two are fine, but you cannot have a copy constructor for order.
So it's like if you change something in one place, it's affecting a lot of different things. Can we like modify the assignment to say something like have this functionality, but create your own classes, but implement all these functionalities?
Yeah, then that is another problem. So then things become very you know yeah, that is not that is for some logistics purposes that is not a good thing to do.
So after finishing, can we submit the .cpp files or copy and paste it in a text or PDF?
Because writing is asking us to write down all the answers.
No, so these are the two logistic issues. See, the problem is that if you if you just submit the .cpp file, okay, there is a issue of, I mean, so we cannot we cannot make sure that somebody is not plagiarizing, because yeah, that is the problem. And the reason we cannot allow like open-ended code, some sort of an open-ended coding is, then I mean it is very difficult to have a objective evaluation criteria. So then there will be, at the time of evaluation, there will be many disputes.
So like, but in total it would be around 300 to 400 lines of code, and like we have two tests tomorrow. Like I have a test for
I have extended the deadline to tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow end of day.
Yes, sir, but like we have a test tomorrow.
Tomorrow till 5 we have
Sir,
classes.
I don't understand why students would not be able to copy in the handwritten code. Sir, it is the same thing. They can copy there also if they want.
No, but that we have discussed. So that see, this is not just one my decision or something. This is like this your senior. I mean, this is coming on for few these things. So yeah, 300 to 400 is not correct, right? Because how many you have to implement? You have to implement 1, 2.
Sir, it is means it is taking 300 to 400 lines.
Yes, sir, it is taking 300 to 400.
So because we need to add comments also and all.
Yes, sir. And so like if we like do not write everything, then and just the parts of it, like it would be difficult for us to even like keep track of what's happening. Like the order may
And sir, indent.
Sir, and indent is another issue.
Indentation is also not possible, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, indentation, all those things are not possible. So you, I mean, yeah, you just submit like a readable version of the thing. See, this is not my decision. Okay, so I mean, you are asking me, but yeah, you try to understand the reason, right? So this is yeah. I mean, yeah, it is not like I want you to write. Like,
so maybe you could have like a Viva component to all these, because the other lab, right? So it has like a Viva component. So
yes,
for software engineering theory assignment too, you could have a Viva component.
We could have a Viva component, yes. So yeah, but
Right, so you could have like live coding sessions where people write code in front of you. So if you have like enough number of TAs, you could like have like 3 to 4 people writing code at the same time, sharing their screen. So one TA can overlook all of that and like ensure that no one is cheating.
no, that is see, the problem is in theory. So that all that can be done in lab. In fact, in lab we will have all that. In theory, there is not enough time to do that. So when will you do that, right? So then there are logistical issues because you understand, yeah. So that is why.
So, but tomorrow we have 8 to 5 classes, sir, and tomorrow end of day is the deadline, sir.
Yes, sir, and we have 2 tests also, sir,
And
tomorrow.
2 tests also, sir.
No, but I already gave 1 day extension. No, what more I can do?
So, but like till now, everyone has like everyone thinks that the assignment can be written like in LaTeX, and everyone's actually doing their work in LaTeX. We didn't even know that it has to be handwritten because last time, like the instruction, like at least the instruction that we knew was that we could submit like a digital, whatever legible copy that the TAs could understand. So everyone has like I have done it in LaTeX. A lot of people I know have done it in LaTeX. Now the thing is that I have to like, for example, like at least my code goes to like 200 lines if I'm not wrong. I have to like take out A4 sheets, rewrite everything. Plus, like for a lot, we have exams and classes all throughout the day. It's simply not possible to do it in this time span, sir.
Okay.
Plus, also there's like an assignment on Wednesday that we have to your assignment on Wednesday that we have to submit, like the lab assignment. We have work on that, so it's like
okay. So let me. So do one thing, okay? Okay, let me just post one. So let me first talk to Professor PPD and then we will see. So
yes, sir. If you want to hold a meeting with the rest of us, like we are, like you can tell us. We can talk to our classmates and hold a meeting.
because see, this is the problem. Yeah, this is the problem is that I mean, a few people will basically just copy paste and submit. This is the problem actually.
Right. So there's always this balance, right? So like of the utility that we get and the like sort of like distress that we cause a lot of people. I think it's just simply causing too much distress for the utility it produces.
Let me. So right now I cannot promise anything. I mean, I'll let you guys know. This much only I can tell because yeah, because this is not my decision to make.
So, like, I had some doubt in question 1 too. Like, could you please?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, like, firstly, like, I wish to ask, like, whether it's necessary to store each result that we get from previous call. Suppose I have a very large number that's prime, and like I found out it was prime. So, do I need to store it? Because the way I'm implementing is like different. I'm using the cvan. For that, I'm just storing the like the prime still root n. So, like, if
all the primes till root n you save in the buffer.
So I
okay,
think
sir.
the assignment is pretty clear. It says all the necessary primes can be stored in the buffer. It doesn't say that every prime that you have found out has to be stored. Like I think for question 1 is pretty clear.
Yeah, but if you see, if you don't store yeah, so I don't know what algorithm. So if you don't store all the primes till a certain number, then you cannot do a primality testing for, because it could be a prime factor for. Suppose you leave some holes in between in the prime field. So then,
Sir?
Yes, I don't think anyone is doing that. I think that person he's basically asking if you have to store every number until n.
So
So
yeah, so
not
like
until n. No, not until n. Every prime number until root n is what you need.
or
Basically.
like as the assignment says, what was necessary. Like
Yeah.
there's a sentence that says necessary primes have to be stored.
Yeah.
okay, sir. And sir, like I had another doubt. Like it's given that the destructor is private here. So like
Yes, sir. The destructor can never be called. So we have to
Yes,
write
sir.
another function that provides a public interface to the destructor.
Yes, sir. Like we'll have
Yes,
to.
yes, but don't worry about that here. So I think we had this discussion. Yeah.
So like, is it fine that if we create another public
Yeah,
function?
so see, singleton, basically, what happens is at most one copy of the object can be created. Okay, so once you create one copy, it's fine if you don't destroy it at all. So let it be till the end of the program, and then it, it never gets destroyed basically.
Okay, so like I had thought that we need to like destroy it as a like programmer. So like I've implemented another public function which would like destroy it. So and like I'll make an explicit call in the main for destruction, like calling that function, that static function, and it would destroy it. So like is that fine too?
Yeah, that is fine, but yeah, so in this case, that is not necessary. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir?
Hmm.
So like regarding storing the primes till square root n, so like as the question had said necessary primes, like I wasn't storing each and every prime required. Like for example, the first question starts with, the testing starts with 2958. So as soon as I add the prime number 2, I clearly understand that 2958 won't be a prime. So I just add 2 and I end up the program there. Then I go for 823 and then I keep adding until I reach a prime which divides 823, then I end there. So
Right.
like, so that can also be done, right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. That is how it should be. So square root of n does not mean that, see, it may, yeah, so all the necessary ones, basically, I think the necessary is the correct word here.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, so for the assignment one, like the marks are given out of 100. I guess that would be out of 34, like in the
No.
the Moodle.
Okay, I will just check. So some TAs may have made mistake.
So also my marks have not been uploaded on Moodle.
Okay, I will just so I'll just check 1 minute. Let me just check how many have been graded. Yeah, so you know who is the TA checking your assignment?
Not exactly, Professor.
Okay, I will just share that sheet. So you can just mail to him or her. Mail means you can also, yeah, I think mail, yeah, you can just mail, or you can also message on Teams, and they will, yeah, it is not, it should not be out of 100. Oh, okay. Yeah. That is the problem. Okay. Some people have graded out of 100. I will, yeah. I think everybody has graded out of 100 only. Okay, so fine. So we can scale it to, so you can just scale it. So it does not matter. See, yeah. So I think
So,
everybody
like,
graded out of 100. Yeah.
no, so actually, like they like in Moodle, like this happened in previous Algo labs too. Like they meant to grade it out of the actual marks, like they were 34, I guess, but like the Moodle shows it out of 100 because.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, that changed grades?
Yeah, so out of 34, and we said that it will be maximum. I mean, you can get, if you get 34, then you get 30. Yeah. I will just correct it. At the time of taking the marks, I'll correct it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
that was, I guess, for the test. Like you said that for the test, not like the software engineering lab test, not for the assignment, I guess.
Okay, that could be also, yeah. Anyway, so the marks issue, I'll sort it out, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not out of 100. I think it's out of 34. Yeah. But a lot of it is not being checked. So I just upload the list of who is supposed to check which one.
Sir, can I just share my screen once?
Yeah, sure.
So can you see my screen?
Yes. Now I can see. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So this was my submission for the last assignment. I just want to tell you like what the difference is between submitting a handwritten assignment and a digital assignment. So for each problem, when I had a digital assignment, I was able to give a lot of explanations. Also, not just that, I could embed code into it. I could do a lot of things. For example, for one particular question, I even took the assembly of the executable program. I analyzed the assembly and explained why this was happening. I had a lot. I could explain a lot of things in a digitally written assignment. But when
Right.
I have to do it handwritten, I don't think I can produce the same quality. So
Agree. Yeah. Yeah. So let me. No, I see. I'm not. It's the reason is. Yeah, it's not just my decision. Yeah. So okay, you have told. I have listened. So let me think about it, and I will let you know. Huh? And I'll
okay, sir.
discuss.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Sir, like one last doubt regarding that assignment too, sir. Like there are many places where we are creating copies and all. So like there are many issues regarding like distracting, like deleting a copy and all those stuff. So like will those also be considered while giving us marks, like whether we are correctly destructing it or not, the copy?
Yes. So you make a copy, and at the time that you are overwriting, you should destroy the old one, and I mean you should delete on the old. See, basically, what is the issue, right? So issue is so first of all, let us see this. So best is to make a copy. Okay, in the current this thing, best is to make a copy. Okay, when you are creating let's say you are inserting it into a new object, make a copy. So this is number one. Number two is that when now when you are changing something that you are inserting into an object, you should delete the old constituent object. This is the second principle, right? And anyway, when you are deleting the whole object, you are deleting all the constituents object. So these are the only things. What I mean, why do you say there are a lot of? I mean,
He said, like in this case, we don't need to delete it in a way, right, sir? Because that the other copy might be present in someone else's order.
it's inefficient. I agree that it is inefficient, but follow this for because we are trying to introduce a semantics like what we do with something like like our numbers or something like that, right? So we are trying to give expressions and things like that. So that
But it's not inefficiency is not the issue, sir. It's simply we can't do that if other people have the same orders or same products or something. Like if there's a particular customer associated and we can't simply delete the object. Like there'll be some other order associated with it, or
but
there's some interdependency.
if you're copying, then you can, right?
No, sir, like we are basically creating a copy of the product in star operator because like in a case if customer A also wants the same product, customer B also wants the same product, but A wants different number of copies than B, then we can't just directly change the number of copies value in the product because that would end up changing the product object stored in the order of customer A2. So we are creating a copy of that same product with a different number of copies, and then we are providing that object to customer B instead. So while providing that copy, we can't delete the older copy of product, right? As that product object is already present in orders of customer A.
No, that's what I'm saying. So you can, right? So when you are saying, so that's what I'm. Let me just. Yeah. So when you are, so let's take one example. Let's say
So let's take the example of that multiplication operator of the product item at the bottom in the main function.
Right. So you see. So let me just. Yeah. So you see, let's say you are doing this star of p times 10. Okay. So what you are doing, this multiplication is actually taking this product, okay, and it is making a copy and then inserting 10 into that, okay, and now that guy is being added to this order.
So okay, so this multiplication operator is supposed to return a reference, right? So the reference is supposed to be like it can obviously cannot be to a local object. It has to be a free store object. Now the problem is if it's a free store object, we keep allocating the free store object, but where do we delete those objects?
When you delete this particular order item, it has all the free store, all the product items. You agree?
Okay, so let's say we are not multiplying it by 10. We're simply saying plus ampersand p. Now the problem is if two different orders have the same have the same product added to them. Now if we call the delete operator, it is not actually deleting a copy. It is deleting the actual product itself.
Yeah. So
we can't have the same semantics for both. One is a copy, one is an actual product.
Okay. What you do there? So yeah. So basically, you then say star of p star 1 and then add. So then you are doing a copy again.
So the user has to be aware of. So it's basically he's on one side he's specifying the product, on the other side he's specifying the quantity always.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like really like error code because it's very easy for a programmer somewhere else not to use the multiplication operator. And suddenly, if he deletes his order, all the orders in the system will be have an invalid reference to a product.
Yes, because it is possible to add the original product to the order and then delete the order. It is still possible.
Exactly.
We are just not doing that. But in some case, if a programmer does that, then the whole system will be broken.
Right. Yeah. So if a programmer adds
forgets the multiplication operator, if he forgets to do into one, then the whole thing is gone.
So can we consider it for now that the programmer will do that? Like it will become too complicated.
Yeah. So basically, that's what I'm saying. So basically, otherwise you cannot. Yeah, you cannot. Yeah. At least I don't know of a design where you can. You can actually do still. So, but. Yeah, so for the timing, I would say that stick to this syntax, okay, where oref is equal to, you every time you specify the copies, even if it is a single copy.
Yes, sir. And in that star operator, we'll create a new copy of that product with 10 copies using that overloaded constructor and return reference to that.
Yeah, that is, I think that is the simplest design. You can basically ensure that you can possibly you could ensure, but that let's not complicate things here now.
So this means the programmer will not be able to chain multiplications, right? He can't say into 2 then into 4.
No, he can't.
Okay.
No. Yeah, he can't. Basically, he should not be able to. So if he does that, then there's a
basically like a loss of memory leak.
Memory leak, yeah.
Like an intermediate operand has created some memory on the heap, but the corresponding delete operator in the order function cannot, an order class cannot delete that.
Yeah, so a lot of problems, I agree. Here. For the time being, I would say go with that design. So you can actually allow that. If you want to allow that, what you have to do is you have to, inside the product item object itself, you have to somehow keep track of the, like, whether it's a copy or not. So you can do that by maybe setting copies to -1 or something in the constructor. I mean, that could be one way of saying that. If copies is -1, then you basically say that this is not a copied one. And so that is one way to do it. So in the state itself, you store whether it's an original product item or a copied product item. That is one solution that you can also take. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, it makes sense.
So then again, we can just add a patch that if someone wants to add a original to an order, he cannot do that. We'll just have one line check, right?
Yeah, I think like, because the multiplication operator should return a copy, the copy boolean flag should always be set for any order to be accepted.
Yeah, copies. No, the copy value will always be positive.
Always be positive. Yeah. So one or more. Yeah. Yeah, and then everything you can also change basically. Yeah, so that's a good design. At the time of deletion also you can check.
So like, is it not possible to like modify the assignment and give students like a totally different question and like 3 or 4 more days?
Why do you say that?
I mean, combining all the problems that we've seen so far, one with like most of the people in the most of our classmates are actually not on this meet, so probably they're like they're not going to get whatever we discussed. A and B,
No,
like the
but
thing for the timings.
yeah, no, but we will go by so whatever discussion we had, we will still go by the assignment document modulo. Like, some of the discussions we had, right? Like here it should be equal to n plus for orders, right? So equal to n plus for orders instead of plus and star, and equal to plus and star, equal to n star for product items. So actually, so actually equal to I have not mentioned anywhere. So I think this is kind of clear, right? So equal to has to be overloaded. Equal to and input are like common to all of them, right? So I mean, as such, there is no, see, as a problem definition, there's no this thing, right? So see, this discussion is sort of more like to clear the doubt and like those kind of things. And the way the grading is going to happen is basically, whatever functionalities you implement and how you implement that. Based on that, the grading will be done.
So I have one question. So this assignment operator, right? So you're saying its purpose is to basically destroy whatever object exists already and assign the new the current.
No, input this input operator, that is the purpose.
Okay, so then the assignment operators too.
So assignment operator for shopping basket and for this one, right, is more like the append operator. Order and shopping basket is more like the incremental update operator.
What about the ones before that, sir?
Yeah, here it is, of course, like overwrite. Product item and customer. Customer anyway assignment operator is not there also, but here it is just overwrite.
So what is the purpose of this assignment operators? Because we can always use a copy constructor to create an object from another object. So what is this assignment operator for? Like, what utility will it have?
Yeah, so this one I am not 100%. Yeah, so I mean, not much utility, I would say. This particular for product item, it will not have much utility. Yeah. But for this one, the for order and for shopping basket, the semantic is clear right here.
So for this question, there has been like lots of changes and stuff, and there are only 5 attendees in the meeting, so like almost none of us are here, taking into account
No,
how
but
many students.
actually, this is what
So
I'm trying to understand. A lot of discussion has happened. I agree. So what are the changes? I mean, from the assignment document point of view, what are the changes?
So like even if the meaning is simply not in the document as well. So like you have told us that this is how certain functions have to be implemented, and like you've given us certain pieces of advice that like obviously not everyone has received. So
No, but that is, that is there, this thing, no, that I cannot force people to attend. I mean, see, it's like this, that many of them may be already knowing what we are discussing here. You don't know that, right? I mean, maybe we are figuring it out together, but they already know.
okay, so one last thing, just like about the deadline, sir. Like if you could look into the deadline and the writing part of the assignment, like digital versus pen.
The deadline already one day I gave, no, like I don't know how much more I
No,
can.
sir, he meant the writing and
part. Yeah, right part. I will just look at. Yeah.
So because if you
yes,
have the deadline tomorrow and if you say we have to, it has to be handwritten. I don't think a lot of people in our class actually know it has to be like compulsorily has to be handwritten, because a lot of my friends said they're doing it on LaTeX. So I have to like inform all of them and they'll have to like redo it on paper. And I'm
Okay.
not sure if like they'll like if they can do it at all in this time span.
Right. So yeah. So like I said, right, this is not my alone decision. So I will just discuss and I will let you guys know. Huh?
Okay, sir.
sir. Sir, in regard with this, sir, like as you know that SE Lab also has the deadline on 16th itself at 2 p.m. So maybe if you could extend that, then it would be a bit easier breather for this assignment on 15th ending also, because then like at least we can work on this completely instead of working a bit more on the SE Lab, which also has the deadline the next day itself.
Again, SC Lab also not my alone decision that Professor Avidash is taking care of. This one, yeah. So let me see if let me talk to Professor PPT and see if, yeah. I'm just trying to understand whether we can so we can maybe allow like. Yeah, I don't know what exactly we will allow. So
So I think any one of these exemptions, like either like digital to pen or the deadline extension, any one of these could like be a huge breather for most of us.
right. Let me see what we can do. Okay. Any other questions we have?
That's it from my side, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.